Top 10 horror movies on Netflix in 2021. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today, we are showing you the top 10 horror movies on Netflix 2021. Yeah, are you excited? Before we begin with this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon to never miss out on more videos we post. From the haunted houses to evil creatures, the beloved classics to Netflix originals, let's begin with the top 10 most horror movies on Netflix 2021. Number 10. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. Beginning with its eerie title, Oz Perkins, the writer-director of I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, creates a sustained mood of discomfort. A live-in nurse is played by Ruth Wilson, who cares for an elderly writer in a house that might be the site for actual tragic events depicted in the author's most famous novel. Both the ghost of a woman and the nurse who died in the house drift through the mostly empty rooms. Their fates become intertwined as Perkins immerses the audience in an atmosphere of passive dread. Number 9. His House. His House is a film by Remy Weeks, written and directed in 2020 from the story of Felicity Evans and Toby Venables. Netflix released the film on 30th of October 2020 and was widely applauded by critics. The film follows the story of a pair of South Sudanese refugees who live in government housing in London, are haunted by traumatic memories and an evil mind. His House combined traditional spookiness and meditation on trauma and displacement to create a familiar story fascinatingly and disturbingly. Number 8. The Perfection. The American psychological horror thriller film The Perfection is directed by Richard Shepard, from Nicole Snyder, Shepard, and Eric C. Chermello in 2018. It had its world premiere at Fantastic Fest on 20th of September 2018 and was released by Netflix on 24th of May 2019. In Richard Shepard's twisty, over-the-counter psychological horror film The Perfection, Allison Williams and Logan Brownon play dueling cellists. The two are students of the strict and demanding professor Steven Weber, who provokes their increasingly violent rivalry. In multiple twists, Shepard plays with expectations, keeping the audience guessing over the genuine connections of the characters, even as they torment each other with mercy. Number 7. Child's Play 2. With Child's Play 2, killer doll Chucky, voiced by Brad Dourif, reached its peak. The second film is more vivid and clever than the original, which shows Chucky's sarcastic personality. The movie follows the plot where 2 years after the serial assassin Charles Lee Ray had inserted his soul in a Chucky doll, a toy company is trying to reproduce the doll and put Ray into action. The owned doll, intended to claim a human body, kills his way towards former owner Andy. Kyle, Andy's foster sister, is trying to protect him, but Andy's foster parents think he is a troubled child, and Chucky's killing trail continues. But like some later versions, it also avoids tipping into full-length comedy. Chucky is still frightened as he stalks the new foster families of Andy, Alex Vincent, and Andy, while the film balances gruesome pieces with a pleasantly morbid sense of humor. Number 6. The Invitation. Will and Eden were once a loving couple. Eden disappeared after a tragedy had taken their son. 2 years later, she comes out of the blue with a new married man, and she has eagerly changed and hopes to meet her ex, and though she left behind as another person. Eden and her new friends have mysterious and terrifying plans. The haunted Will is shocked by increasing evidence. But can we trust the reality of Will? Or is he going to be a doom he senses and witting catalyst? Does a strange cultic prophecy have a more sinister motive? Number 5. Sweetheart. Kiersey Clemens is the only person on screen for most of Sweetheart's running time as the apparent lone survivor of a shipwreck who is stranded on a deserted island. Or is the island deserted? Well, Jen has washed a small tropical island ashore, and it doesn't take her long to realize she's completely alone. She needs to spend her days surviving the elements and the evil force coming out every night. Director J.D. Dillard uses the threat that a deep-seated monster threatens to tell a story about a woman finding her inner strength and rescuing her power. Number 4. Pan's Labyrinth. Guillermo del Toro's haunting, beautiful fable Pan's Labyrinth is set in World War II-era Spain, where a young girl discovers a mysterious labyrinth populated by fantastical creatures. Yes, in the film, in 1944, rebels still fought against the Phalanges troops in the mountains in Spain during the post-Civil War. The young, imaginative Ophelia will meet her sad and cruel Captain Vidal's stepfather in an old mound with her pregnant and sick mom Carmen Vidal. Ophelia met a fairy in the night, and together they wander in a lawn in the middle of a labyrinth to meet a fauna that says she is a princess from the underground kingdom. He also says her father is waiting for her, but she needs first to accomplish 3 horrific, brutal, and dangerous tasks. She becomes, meanwhile, a friend and support of the group of the servant Mercedes, the sister of one rebel. Ophelia lives in her magical world despite a dark, brutal, and violent world and tries to survive her tasks, seeing her dad and king once more. Number 3. It comes at night. So, what exactly comes at night? Along with his wife and teenage son, a man lives a reclusive life in an isolated cabin in the woods. When Bud contracts a mysterious disease, the family is forced to put him down and burn his body. During the night, an invader breaks into their house, and they dominate the man, leaving him tied to a tree in quarantine to know whether he is sick or not. A couple of days later, they find the stranger is healthy, and he tells him that his name is Will. He explains that he left his wife Kim and their little son Andrew in an abandoned house to seek water and food. Paul and Sarah invite him to bring his wife and son to live with them to protect each other. On arrival, Paul explains the rules of his house to the couple, and they share the labor and supplies. But paranoia about the disease and the outside menace arrives in the house, affecting 2 families' lives. Number 2. Unfriended. One night, while teenagers Blair, Mitch, Jess, Adam Ken, and Val participate in an online group chat session, they are suddenly joined by a user known as Billy227. Thinking it's just a technical glitch, the friends carry on their conversation until Blair begins receiving messages from someone claiming to be Laura Barnes, a classmate. The latter killed herself exactly 1 year prior. As Blair tries to expose Billy's identity, her friends are forced to confront their darkest secrets and lies. Depicting an entire story solely via the images on a computer screen may sound like a ridiculous gimmick. Still, the clever, intricately designed horror movie Unfriended pulls it off with its basic but compelling story about a group of teenagers targeted for revenge from beyond the grave. The movie perfectly captures the online lives of its characters while also delivering a satisfying and scary ghost story. Number 1. Veronica. Inspired by a true story, Veronica is the supernatural horror movie directed by Paco Plaza. The film follows the 15-year-old Veronica, who conducts a seance with a Ouija board, already a tricky situation, one that's heightened by the fact that she does it during a solar eclipse. Still healing from her father's death and her mother slaving away for long hours at a small local bar, Veronica has to be the substitute mother of her twin sisters, Irene and Lucia, and Antonito, her little brother. Longing for his paternal presence, Veronica will convince 2 of her Catholic school friends to conduct an ill-considered Ouija board seance during a rare 1991 solar eclipse in high hopes of contacting their beloved deceased. But what began as a desperate effort to communicate with the unknown soon will lead to be a heated immersion of the mysterious supernatural realm in which demonic possessors escape from across. Little by little, something evil will begin to infect everyone around Veronica. But how could this entity be her father? So, these were the top 10 horror movies on Netflix. Which one is your favorite? Have you watched all of them? If not, which one of them will you watch now? Let us know your views in the comment section below. Until the next video, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more uploads like this. See you!